control. You're on my mind, baby. Just move a little closer. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make your body mine through the night. Hot and sweet through the night. Let's get out fast and slow. I wanna get to know you. I know a place where we can go. It's just around the corner. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am here a little late because of some things I had to do. Getting some stuff done to the backyard today. And so, anyway, hi. It's Tuesday, Twitter Tuesday. I almost said Tucker Tuesday. That would be Sinatra. That's not me. Excuse me. My gosh, why am I coughing? Anyway, just need a little sip of the cup. Maybe. Anyway, something I caught early this morning when I was at work, and I'm looking at Twitter while I'm at work because sometimes I can do that, and caught my eye for some reason, and it was, well, I guess it's because I always look for these cancellation type things that they try to do. And I find it interesting that, oh gosh darn it, why is this doing this? All right, I'm going to have a little bit, my connection's going to be tough today because this thing's reset my resolution. So anyway, I don't worry about that. But anyway, it's a pattern, and so today we're going to talk about it and see if what I think is going to happen with this particular subject, this particular person that they seem to be going to go after next, and this platform that they're going after next. You know how when back in the day when the Wall Street Journal published an article about the bad things that you see on YouTube, and then all of a sudden they have this little adpocalypse on YouTube. Then they started going after Twitter, so they started purging some people on Twitter, and they kind of go from platform to platform. Facebook, then they say this person or this group or this type of person shouldn't be allowed to be on Facebook. So you start seeing the purges, right? Well, it's a midterm election season, and I found at least one outlet that I think that you're gonna hear about a lot over the next few days. I guarantee you, well, not guarantee, but I'm gonna assume that you're gonna start hearing about it just because of a certain article I saw in Vanity Fair, and that is the preview of what we're gonna talk about today. So, and then there's some other stuff, some education stuff, and blah blah blah. So get ready, start the show, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. Yay! Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P Dog Night on the internet. And welcome back to the P Dog Night channel, where we love being canceled. I was temporarily canceled. Now I'm back. Hope you didn't miss me too much. It's K-pop day on the Morning Night Live. Now I don't know why there's a genre called K-pop, and but that's what our we'll see what it brings up. We're gonna see. So any donations today, you'll have a little K-pop festival. I don't know. In fact, let me see. I'm just curious because I've never used this category on my music service before. So without and this, especially without vocals, how do you do K-pop without vocals? It just sounds like boy bands from the 90s, if you ask me. But here's an example of, well, this is a K-pop happy hopeful instrumental song. So let's try this for a second. Okay. Yes, K-pop. But remember, this is without vocals, so you're not even going to know it's K-pop. It just sounds like I said. Yeah, it kind of sounds like just any 90s boy band or girl band that you'd ever hear, some background music for them. So okay, so anyway, that gives you the idea. Shut that shit off. Okay, so anyway, I don't know why I chose that. I just did. It was something I haven't chosen before. All right, let's get into the show. But before we do, of course, I like to say good morning to the gang. So first in the chat today, and quick on the draw, Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell for being here soon and early and whatnot. And it was a photo finish with Ty Alexander and Somnable Nation. So thank you for your quick fingers, I should say. Also, good morning to Mike Savage, Blarg. And also, good morning, Jaeger Pody, my favorite Canadian. The Rotten Corpse is in the house. Let's see. Plague Dr. Zach, a.k.a. Zach Osborne. San is in the house. Welcome. And that's it, because I didn't give you all much time to get in here, so there's just the 10 right now, but I'm sure people will stroll in at some point, and we'll have even a more full house. Simon Wolfwood, good morning. So I'm gonna go right into it because I'm a little bit behind the a little bit behind the 8 ball. Yes, T-Ball, I am not covering the Heard Depp trial, and welcome to the show. In fact, I am specifically not. I have been getting myself caught up on the Heard Depp trial, just in case someone mentions it and I could act like I'm somewhat informed. But I am getting most of the juicy bits from some of the, what do they call it, law tube guys, Ricada and Legal Mindset and Legal Bites and Nate, whatever. I just catch a couple clips here and there, and boy, does that look like a shit show. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Do not particularly care. Also, real quick, thank you, Somnambul Nation and Rotten Corpse, Zach Osborne, and Somnambul Nation again for tweeting the show and or retweeting my tweet of the show. Follow me on any social media at PDogKnight. Basically anything but Facebook, Gab, Minds, Parler, CloudHub, Getter, and Twitter, of course. And then also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I am Yes That Marty, which is also my alternate YouTube channel, which I don't have any content on, but I'm going to start using that site. I'm going to move my Marty's Big Journey channel, disconnected from this channel, because when I got yeeted from YouTube, I couldn't use that channel either. So I'm going to fix that, because that's a completely different channel from what I do here. That's just, I'm putting travel clips and stuff like that. And so whatever. So if you're ever trying to find me, Yes That Marty is the alternative, and or you can find me at Yes That Marty on Instagram. So there you go. All right, the word is beautiful tragedy and lovely mess. Yeah, it kind of is. Oh, that trial. Okay, nope, I'm not talking about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Let's get into what I really want to talk about today, because it is Twitter Tuesday, and I get most of my news from Twitter, but some of it's from Twitter and some's not today. But this was interesting to me when I saw this particular tweet, and there's an article from Vanity Fair. I should make it so you can see it, though. That would help. Hang on. There we go. And there we go. So I saw this tweet this morning from Vanity Fair. And we're just going to go through some of this thread, because it They seem to be foreshadowing something that the media is about to do. The media is about to do a hit piece on Substack. I guarantee you. And this is the first shot across the bow. Okay. They started with Substack. And if you're familiar with Substack's kind of it's a news site where people can have their own newsletters. Basically, a lot of journalists use it, especially a lot of journalists who have moved away from the major outlets. They go on there and they have a page where they can basically take tips, kind of like YouTube, but for writing. And they have, a lot of there's a whole bunch of journalists and writers and stuff who have them. Even like Patti Smith, the musician, has a Substack where it's basically a newsletter, okay? And they put out regular newsletters. Now, the thing is, though, there's people on the left or people in the major media that don't like some of the people on Substack. I know that Barry Weiss, for example, they removed her from, I think, the New York Times, and I know she has a Substack. Glenn Greenwald has a Substack. A whole bunch of different people who are not necessarily in with the good boys club. You know what I'm saying? They are wrong thinkers and things like that. So here's Vanity Fair. Substack is on a mission to fix a broken discourse. But its laissez-faire attitude about content moderation has put the company on the front lines of the culture wars. Will it be enough to derail their ambitions? Wow, there's a lot of loadedness in that statement. But first, our old friend's back, Thomas Cleaver, dropping a big bullet in the tip jar. And Thomas Cleaver, hang on a second. Let me just find a little mood music for you. Let's see. I don't want laid back. I want here we go. Let's try this. It's K-pop day. Thomas Cleaver, thank you so much for dropping a big bullet in the tip jar. He says, kapow! Thank you, sir. I appreciate your continued support. And welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while, so good to have you back. All right. Thank you. And the crowd goes wild. All right. Fantastic. And good morning to Chicago Mike also. All right. Thank you so much, Thomas Cleaver. Greatly appreciated. And, Thomas Cleaver, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. All right. So back to this Substack thing. This is loaded. Listen to this. This is loaded. Just this one tweet now, if you want to read the entire story, I will have it in the links today. I have the archived link here. And I might get into it a little bit, but I'm just going to go through the thread because the thread tells me a whole lot. In fact, here's my prediction. This Vanity Fair article will influence a New York Times article, a Washington Post article, and a CNN feature from Brian Stelter. I'm guessing. This is written by someone named Joe Pompeo. Now, you know what I didn't do? I didn't look up Joe Pompeo on Twitter. Maybe I should see if Joe Pompeo's on Twitter. Let's see if I can find him. Joe Pompeo. Did I spell it right? No, it's a P. Joe Pompeo. Let's see if there's a Joe Pompeo on Twitter. Just out of curiosity. And I'm going to guess, here it is. Media correspondent, Vanity Fair. I would not be shocked to find Joe Pompeo on Brian Stelter's show. Good story today. I'll tell you something from the content creator side. I attended a series of calls this past winter with other Substack writers. I asked them how they were thinking about growth, mentioning I only had a couple dozen paid subscribers so far. There's a thread here. I will go back to that one because I want to see what that guy says too. Anyway, so let's talk about this real quick. They have done reports on the evils of Substack. Yeah, the big time media does not like them. And mainly because Substack is their competition. Because some of these writers that they push off to the wayside like they were going to have Barry Weiss there. I think they yeeted Barry Weiss, but they don't like Substack because these are people who are not controlled by the normal media narratives. And so they don't like them, especially some of the ones that are more prolific writers. So this whole first paragraph, Substack is on a mission to fix broken discourse. What is broken discourse? What is broken discourse? Because a lot of people on Substack don't have other venues that they go on, but they have great followings on that particular site. Broken discourse is the discourse that the people who write for Vanity Fair don't like. And then the laissez-faire attitude about content moderation, that's just a dog whistle. I you know what? Only because that's their big thing is they don't believe. They think they should be able to have content moderation that basically mirrors what they say. They're kind of like, I think of, when I hear Vanity Fair talk about content moderation, I think PolitiFact. Okay, a very one-sided, like fact-checking type thing that is mostly opinion. Then it puts it on the front line of the culture wars. Uh-oh, culture wars. Oh no, I bet there's some people who maybe have different ideas about abortion or trans gender ideology or other things that they might have different opinions that we do. They don't, or they might say something bad about Dr. Fauci or the World Economic Forum. They have different opinions than us. And then it will be enough to derail their ambitions. Oh, wait a minute. Vanity Fair is looking at, do they want them to derail their ambitions? Oh, that's a nice platform they got there. I'd hate for something to happen to it. Fascinating. What they really dislike about Substack is that Substack is a place where the writers, they have blacklists, can still get their writing out. Oh, hell yes. You are spot on, Mr. Avocados Diabli. By the way, good morning, Melly D's in the house, Aaron Meredith's in the house, Chicago Mike's in the house, Fight for Our Rights in the house, and Swirly. Hi, Swirly. That's a new name. Did you change your name from something else, or have you just been here before? Anyway, welcome to the show. So, once a niche newsletter publisher, Substack is morphing into a heavyweight startup mentioned alongside Facebook and Twitter, while its valuation, user base, and roster of celebrity writers continues to expand. Oh, they're expanding. And all these writers that were banished from Vanity Fair are writing there, and they're saying stuff that we don't like. And the fact they're morphing into a heavyweight. It's another look. They're morphing into a heavyweight, and will the culture war writers derail their ambitions? They're becoming a heavyweight, so now we got to take a look and make sure they're not writing things we don't like. Substack isn't in Mark Zuckerberg territory just yet. Well, no shit. Hello, Trippy. Trippy, what's up, man? Nice to have you back. Okay. Came from HB, but your show is at an inopportune time for me usually. Oh, well, replays are on YouTube. So I appreciate you dropping in when you can. That's awesome. All right. So they're not in Zuckerberg territory. No shit. Nobody's in Zuckerberg territory yet. Nobody is in Zuckerberg territory yet. Stop. That's a stupid statement. But that appears to be their goal, according to someone friendly with co-founder Hamish McKenzie. He once said Substack would be the next Facebook. Well, of course, anybody has ambitions to grow their platform and be a powerhouse in, social media and writing. Duh, that's stupid. Who cares? But remember, will it be enough to derail their ambitions? Oh, front line of the culture wars. They let people write things we don't like. I'm going to keep going back to that. So, Substack has become a haven for literary icons like Patti Smith, the musician, and Salman Rushdie, and celebrities of varying stripes like Padma Lakshmi, we like her, and Edward Snowden, we like him. But it's also a host to more controversial newsletters. Well, Vanity Fair, like who? Well, Joseph Mercola and Alex Berenson, both purveyors of stupid 19 and anti-Fauci juice misinformation, are among Substack's most popular and profitable newsletters. Oh, well, now it's kind of funny. They have to, both purveyors of stupid 19 and anti-Fauci juice misinformation. Oh, what they're saying is there are bad people on Substack. Good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Now, other users have voiced fears that they would have no recourse from transphobic material on the site. Really? Really? What exactly is transphobic material? What exactly? Oh, you mean they might have different opinions about people who don't think it's okay to give children puberty blockers without the permission of their parents like they do in the state of Oregon? Did you hear about that? There's a law in Oregon. Did you hear? They made it a law in Oregon that children 13 and older, 13 through 18, can get, quote, gender-affirming care without permission of their parents. Did you know that? That includes puberty blockers, hormone treatments, and even surgeries. And not only can they get them without permission of their parents in Oregon, they can also get, they don't have to tell their parents. So, and when they can put it on their parents' health insurance that covers them. And when the parents get the bill, the information that happened is redacted. So if your kid, a 13-year-old in Oregon, with one medical visit to maybe a counselor or a doctor, can go on hormones and not tell their parents. And the bill comes and it's redacted. It's not what, it doesn't tell them what it's for. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. I'm sorry. Rod Line, what's up? Nice to see you. Anyway, so, fears that they would have no recourse from transphobic material on the site. Oh, no. The bigger it gets and the more ideologically diverse its author pool becomes. Oh, no. We wouldn't want them to be more ideologically diverse. There are greater chances for highly inflammatory and potentially harmful content to appear. Imagine, for example, a QAnon Substack. Are they still pushing this QAnon bullshit? I mean, I am full on deep into right wing media and left wing media too. I'm into media, but where are all these QAnon people they keep talking about? Because I still haven't figured out. They love to use the term. I know there's people out there that's, in fact, most people don't even know what the hell QAnon really is. They just know it's a conspiracy theory. They're right, blah, 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 Donald Trump, blah, 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 this and that. Where are all these QAnon people? Anyway. Now, I didn't. Hang on. Oh, I forgot to do this. We're not here to build a small business and just hope it'll be for the best, says McKinsey. We're trying to build a true alternate to the attention economy, i.e. the media. They're becoming popular, and they probably get more views than a lot of outlets, particularly like Vanity Fair. They are, because a lot of the writers on Substack have huge followings, and they're not bound by the media narratives, and they don't like it. QAnon is partying with the hacker 4chan. Are they? I didn't know that. Anyway, they're hiding under every bed. Yes, they are. Anyway, so then this is, I think this is one of the people, I think as Substack grows, the tests will become more frequent and more difficult, says McKenzie. At the same time, I don't think Substack as a publishing ecosystem is as attractive to those other movements. And if they are, so what? So what? An ideologically diverse author pool is fantastic because no one is required to read any particular author on Substack. But you know what's going to happen, though? What they're going to do, and now this is a shot across the bow by Vanity Fair, and apparently New York Times and the Washington Post have also talked about this, but they're trying to manipulate the people at Substack, anyone who would support them. Now, it's interesting about this, Substack's not advertiser supported. It's strictly reader supported platforms. But here's what happens. Like they do with Twitter. There's any time that someone they're gonna have some event where, oh my God, someone on Substack might have wrote something about that. Like, let's take this shooting in Buffalo, for example. Let's say that someone on Substack mentioned that our border policy does what the Democrats say it does and helps America become a browner nation, right? Well, I'm surprised they didn't mention after that shooter that someone from Substack wrote that, and they want to go back and talk to Substack, and then they'll be invited to congressional hearings, just like Mark Zuckerberg and the knuckleheads at Twitter, right? This is Vanity Fair tattletaling on Substack. Oh my God, they're becoming ideologically diverse. They don't believe everything we believe, so we're gonna make sure they get the hot light spotlight on them, so we can say, oh, these are bad people too, and they're letting bad opinions on their platform. Good morning, Nomad.
Stop. Hammer time.
Continue. Substack is widening beyond the newsletter format, allowing users to publish podcasts and videos. Great. That is fantastic. That is fantastic, especially if you are sub to some of your favorite journalists and they also do video or podcasts. Fantastic. Good. Allowing users to there could be a point where brands, celebrities, and even media outlets have to be on Substack, like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, or it will fizzle out. So, like a lot of these companies have their Facebook pages, they have their Twitter pages, they have their Instagram pages. Now, maybe some of these media outlets will have to have Substack pages too, and they'll have to compete with other writers who people like more than these assholes. Oh, did I say that loud? I'm sorry. I don't want to come across as one of these guys that's like, what's cooler than $1 million? $1 billion, says McKenzie. These are difficult things to do. Okay, whatever. They continue. The company can vanish for reasons outside of your control at any moment, says McKenzie. Oh, like mega cancel culture from places like Vanity Fair, the Washington Post, and the New York Times. But we are earnest in our effort here to build something better than what the world has right now. Yeah, they kind of do. So anyway, now some of the reactions to this. Christina Pushaw, the communications director for Ron DeSantis. Buzzword salad, clutch your pearls harder. Oh, right here. The newsletter company is on a mission to disrupt attention economy way, but its refusal to engage with transphobia and disinformation means controversy is never far behind. Yeah, people say controversial things. Are you saying they're not allowed to say controversial things on somebody else's platform, Vanity Fair? Kind of. Someone here, Mara the Bulldog, says, Culture War sells it short. This is actual war. People are literally dying from word violence. The front lines are decimated. There's no hope left. The words are combining in ways that will leave utter misery and destruction. SOS. Oh, that's classic. Oh, I'm a Freeman. I've been under siege by a battalion of nouns for the last 3 weeks. I'm planning a counteroffensive of verbs, but I'm running out of short vowels. Please send help. Oh, that is funny as hell. Hello, Jeffrey Russell Jr. How you doing? Nice to see you. I am not nude. Okay, so anyway, content moderation may be necessary, evil in certain cases, but is still an evil because of this, there should generally be as little of it as possible. Thank you, whatever your name is, Kirayara Decline. Absolutely. And here is content moderation. A major plank of U.S. liberalism, including journalists, is eagerness for more online censorship of political speech. That's exactly what Vanity Fair wants. But since nobody likes to admit they're censors, they've invented a euphemism for it. Content moderation. Glenn Greenwald, spot on as usual. And I'm not even I don't agree politically with Glenn Greenwald, but motherfucker's smart and he's right. Cannon Hotep and always lost and nothing else. What's up? Nice to see y'all. Salute, Cannon Hotep. By the way, in August, I'm going to be in Las Vegas for the Hotep Nation convention. If you're interested, you can go to hotepnation.com. I will be doing my Friday show from that place. So there you go. Good morning to the current thing also. You will support us. Exactly. So legacy media, it really does not like sites like this. And there's a lot of them popping up. Substack. What's the one that who's Dave, what's his face? Dave Rubin. What's the one he came up with that's becoming popular too? They don't like that one either because it's mostly people on the right who go on that one. Although they have a pretty locals.com. Mostly people on the right are on Locals, but it's another platform similar where they just the media does not want you to have diverse opinions, and that's where they're at. So anyway, if you want to read the entire article for that, I will have that in the link down below. Remember, at the end of the show, I drop a single link that will go take you to a page that has all the links that of everything we talk about today, all the articles, all the tweets, everything that we do. So I don't know why I showed you that, but that's because I have the archive version of this article that will be in the links. There has to be a line. Substack's founders dive headfirst into the culture wars. Really? Now, I'm going to go, I was going to move on from this, but even this headline, okay? Did the founders dive headfirst into this culture wars, or did people just sign up to put their newsletters on Substack with a diverse array of opinions? That's the question. Did the founders of Substack go, hey, I got an idea. Let's see if we can invite some people with controversial opinions onto our platform. Or did these people just voluntarily say, go, you know what, this is a pretty good place. Looks like it's a nice format. I like it. I can write here. I can get, tips and whatnot on it. And I'm going to write here. And so I chose this platform because I have some autonomy on what I say and don't say. it's like all those controversial people on Twitter. Did Jack himself invite Jack Prosobiec onto Twitter? No, Jack Prosobiec saw Twitter, so he got on the platform, and that's where he does his stuff. Or Alex Jones, or anybody else that's been on these platforms. A newsletter company is on a mission to disrupt the attention economy. Okay, we taught that. Then they have this whole little thing about Patti Smith, and nobody cares. I mean, this this is funny because they spend like 9 paragraphs talking about how Patti Smith uses Substack. In the early days, Substack primarily catered to a certain set of internet-savvy writers and journalists, lured by the promise of monetizing a direct relationship with their readers. So again, and he talked about the 2 writers that had misinformation about stupid 19 and Fauci juice, right? And they say they're a couple of the most profitable. Profitable is a bad word to Vanity Fair, unless you're an accountant and the CEO of Vanity Fair. Then profits are very important to you, but it's a bad word for anybody else, right? So anyway, I'm curious too. This guy Joe, what's his name? Joe Pompeo. Here's his Twitter feed. By the way, don't bug Joe Pompeo. So he's out here. He is pumping his own story, which is fine. And he must really like Patti Smith. You know, he really likes Patti Smith because he's talking about her even on here. Fun tidbit: when Hamish McKenzie, that's one of the founders, agreed to do an Elon book, he started by trying to back channel to Musk's mom, whose email was on her personal website. She promptly dimed him out to Tesla PR, but then Elon offered him a job. He later did a book anyway. Okay, apparently he used to work for Elon Musk, apparently. Anyway. Wait, look down here. I said, what did I, oh no, this is, where did I just see Brian Stelter's name? Oh, look at this. Thanks, Brian Stelter, Oliver Darcy, for the generous plug of his book. I guarantee. Remember what I said at the beginning of this whole thing? I said, guess probably who's going to have this next? Brian Stelter on This Is CNN. How much? Hey, by the way, what's the over and under on how long Brian Stelter is going to still be around at CNN? Anybody got it? That's, in fact, here. I was going to maybe I can make a poll on this, but I'm not going to because it's too hard. Just give me, how long do you think? You can say days, months, weeks, years, however you want to put it. How many days do you think Brian Stelter has left at This Is CNN? By the way, I don't know if I showed you this yesterday. Remember Pete had some fits in on the grill? Well, I didn't show you Pete's grill picture, so here we go. Here's this is when he just had him rubbed out and whatnot, ready to go on the smoker. And apparently there they are in the smoker. I guess he did his cobs in the smoker too. Looking pretty good there. Well, then there's let me see. Let me get another picture here. And then he sauced him up, put him back in the smoker. So I would eat that. Anybody? Would you eat that? Hell yeah. Anyway, thank you, Pete. Well, Pete's not here today, but yeah, Pete had it going on. All right, let's move on. Well, here's the shot, and I got this from Ace of Spades. Apparently, and this is I wish I had one of that. You know that little yay of the kids going yay. Here's the shot. We're going to education segment here. 1.2 million students abandoned public schools since the pandemic. Oh, well. Now, here's the thing. Let me remind you that not all public schools are bad. Okay. In fact, my nephew's stepson is graduating from one of the finest public schools in the nation, Omaha Central High School, this evening, in fact. And so, and that's the same school I went to. It's the same school my mother went to. It's the same school my grandfather went to, and it is a very fine public schools in Omaha, Nebraska, right? And there are fine public schools all over the country. In fact, when we were choosing where to live, we chose to live somewhere that we had a very good reputation in public school. Now, not everybody has that opportunity, and so I personally am absolutely a advocate for school choice. I'm an advocate for homeschooling. In fact, the Hotep Nation has a homeschooling initiative for people who want to try to help people who are interested in doing that. That's a good thing, right? I think there should be multiple education choices that that give parents the ability to do what's best for their children. Okay, and I don't think the dollar should go straight to. I think the dollar should follow the child. I'm full on believe that, right? And there are good, like I said, there are many good public schools, but there are many that aren't doing well. And so this article makes me go, well, this is probably a good thing. Of course, obviously during the pandemic, schools did the remote learning and stuff, and people were starting to see what kind of crap that schools were teaching their children. And, the children are the most important thing to my parents, right? Parents love their children. They want good things for children. The schools are teaching them some bullshit. And so 1.2 million students abandoned public schools. Now, hopefully it's not truancy, but So anyway, a recent national survey of public school enrollment numbers since 2020 shows plummeting enrollment, especially in schools that adopted virtual learning methods during the stupid 19 pandemic. Especially schools that adopted virtual learning. Now, I wonder if it's because they were seeing some of the bullshit that was being taught to their kids. Anyway, data from the American Enterprise Institute Return to Learn tracker found that 1,268,000 students had left public schools since the start of the pandemic in March 2020. After school closures during the spring of 2020 semester, enrollment fell by 2.5% in the fall semester of that year. In the fall of 2021, schools that returned to in-person learning saw some recovery in enrollment numbers, while those that adopted virtual learning methods suffered. So, people realized that the virtual learning stuff wasn't necessarily good for their kids, so they found other ways for their kids to do some in-person learning, because for most kids, in-person learning is much better. Not all, but some. But, parents know their kids. In the 2021-22 school year, school districts that managed to maintain to largely remote learning experience saw enrollment drop by 1.2%. So there's a trend. If they stayed in the remote learning, they were losing students. Parents wanted their kids in regular classes. Net loss in 2020 was of 1 in 22 students. 1 in 22 students left schools that remained in remote learning. Districts that went in person in the 2021-22 school year saw a recovery of 0.9%. for a net loss of only 1 in 93 students. So remote learning, 1 in 22 students. In-person learning, 1 in 93 students. But even those schools lost enrollment. Varied by grade level, for most remote districts lost 8.1% of kindergarten students, 6.2% of elementary students, 2.6% of middle school students. Only in high schools did remote districts see a light uptick at 0.2% enrollment. I imagine by the time you're in a high school, remote learning might not be as big a deal, but in those younger grades, you need some hands-on, man. Enrollment numbers also differed along party lines. Most districts that voted for Trump made some recovery in the 2021-22 school year after their initial falls in enrollment, while enrollment in districts that voted for Biden continued to fall. Now, that's fascinating. Of course, that could be have a suburban to urban or rural to urban factor to it also. It's interesting. Or it could be states that tend to be on the redder side or the Trumpier side also did more in-person learning. It could be any number of factors. I doubt if the voting had anything to do with it, but districts that voted for Biden, of course, probably the ones did the most remote learning. So there you go. So that's interesting. There's more in here, but that's interesting. Now, here's the chaser on that, though, okay? as soon as my clicky click works. There we go. Don't need that. Now, the New York Department of Education, this may be a factor too. I'm just saying, here's a factor. Papa Hotep, what's up? Nice to see you. This may be a factor too, though. New York Department of Education recommends school children read books on transgenderism, racism, and Pocahontas. All right. New York City's Department of Education reportedly recommends elementary school children read books on transgenderism, racism, and Democratic Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, Fox News reported on Monday. The reading list is part of a New York City's Department of Education Mosaic Independent Reading Collection. According to Fox News, the Universal Mosaic curriculum was announced as an overhaul to the New York City Department of Education in July 2021 for the purposes of diversifying educational materials, the New York Post reported. Reading list page is restricted to teachers and students through an internal... Now, see? This is why people want to leave the schools. See? This is why people want to leave the schools. Listen up. Listen up. The reading list page is restricted to teachers and students through an internal Department of Education login. Now, what's missing in that equation? They don't want parents to know what they're telling your kids to read. Fascinating. The New York The Department of Education's library services compiled the reading list and according to the outlet. Some of the books on the list focus on teaching children the history of the gay pride flag. Yay! Wait a minute. Wait, what? Oh my God.
Your life makes me sad.
Engage in conversation about race and details the stories of a transgender boy's desire to no longer be seen as a girl, according to Fox News. Other books on the list depict an oil pipeline as a venomous snake. Well, we can use a lot of venomous snakes right now because paying $4.50 something a gallon of gas. And what else? Venomous snake. And as an illustration of a boy applying lipstick and jewelry to fulfill his desire of becoming a mermaid. Well, isn't that fantastic? Good for them. And the Department of Education and Senator Warren did not immediately respond to the Daily Caller News Foundation request for comments. So there you go. I wonder, let's see. Oh, wow. Children in Scotland as young as 4 can now change their gender without parental success. Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. Good morning, legit low talker. All right. We'll stay in the education lane right for a minute here. State Farm was going to be giving out books, transgender books for 5-year-olds into Florida schools, but apparently they've backtracked on that potential donation. They were going to donate books promoting transgenderism to 5-year-olds. And for the schools and libraries. State Farm, remember, in fact, they got a backlash from this, boy. I saw this yesterday on Twitter, and people were like, people were canceling their State Farm insurance. Oh my goodness. Lord Stanhope, what's up? The gay pride flag is cultural appropriation of Christian culture. New York State is an abomination in front of God and must be erased. Well, let's not go too far. Erased? Like, should maybe... Oh, God, I can't even say this. I was going to say something about Putin's first nuke at the United States. Anyway, State Farm said it will be donating books that promote transgenderism to Florida schools for children as young as 5 in a leaked internal email from the company shows. The car insurance company encouraged its Florida agents to volunteer to receive books about gender identity and donate them to their communities, schools, or public libraries by the end of April. The 3 books, a kid's book about being transgender, Lord, give me strength. A kid's book about being non-binary and a kid's book about being inclusive are intended for kindergarten and above. Yes, it's important that your kindergartner understands what transgender is and non-binary is. Okay, just good God. Most LGBTQ folks not feeling all this pandering, I bet. No. In fact, I have some guests that I'm going to have over the next few weeks that'll show you how some people feel about this, because it's a lot of the even there. Well, if you know, like who's the buck, the transsexual, what's his name? Bucks something. Anyway, he's adamant that this should not be being done with children. There's a lot of people in the lesbian gay community that don't, and there's a lot of lesbians who really, really do not want. How do I put this gently? I was going to say chicks with, well, no, I'm not going to say that because that would probably get me kicked off YouTube. Just female penises in their spaces. Let's put it that way. Anyway, the project's goal is to increase representation of LGBTQ plus books. Why? And support our communities in having challenging, important, and empowering conversations with children aged 5 plus. The internal email reads, Buck Angel, thank you. Why? Look. Why? Okay. Why are they pushing this on kids? I'll tell you why. Because we have this whole new concept of inclusion, and everybody should feel good about themselves. And so they're trying to make it so kids learn younger and younger about these things. But remember, these things are nothing that these kids are going to have to deal with prior to puberty. And most of the kids who deal with puberty go through puberty, and even if they're having problems with themselves, they eventually grow out of some of the feelings that they're having, that some of these people are telling them they are transgender. And they're telling girls that, oh, no, well, that's because you're really a boy. And they're telling the boys, oh, that's because you're really a girl. And it's just insidious. It's gross. It's like, let people who have, look, everyone going through puberty has issues. And we got to stop this shit. Anyway, now, the company has since appeared to backtrack in a statement saying, participating state farm agents are not being asked to share with schools, according to the Washington Examiner. Yeah, because they were getting a shit ton of backlash on social media and various people. They were thousands of cancellations of policies. It was hurting their bottom line. Concerned State Farm employees leaked the internal email to Consumers Research, according to the nonprofit executive director Will Hild, who reported the story on Twitter. The email is dated January 18th and was sent by Jose Soto, a State Farm corporate responsibility analyst based in Florida. This is a fantastic way to give back and an easy project that will help support the LGBTQ plus community and to make the world around us better, Soto wrote. State Farm is reportedly partnering with the Gender Cool Project. The fuck is that? I need to see what this is. The Gender Cool Project. The Gender Cool. Okay, we're coming back to that. For the effort, the goal of the initiative is to help diversify classroom, community center, and library bookshelves with a collection of books to help bring clarity and understanding to the national conversation about being transgender, inclusive, and non-binary, an internal email says. The insurance giant is deploying the project nationwide, not just in Florida. About 550 State Farm agents and employees will have the opportunity to donate their books to the local teacher, community center, library, the email said. However, the company's efforts to proliferate LGBT books in Florida schools comes after Governor Ron DeSantis signed the Parents' Rights in Education bill, which is set to go into effect July 1st. The bill prohibits classroom instruction on sexual orientation, gender identity for children through third grade, or in a way that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. Anyway, now they got a ton of criticism. Here's one example. Someone who said, I'm changing my homeowner and auto policies. State Farm will not get my business. Groomer Freaks wrote another. Shopping 2 homes and 3 cars. Scratch State Farm off the list. Spending dollars in neutral corporations are those that share my values. State Farm, nope. Hashtag State Farm, nope. It's the hashtag that was going around. Wrote another one. Participants are not. Now, State Farm responded to criticism in a statement to the Washington Examiner, saying the book's initiative is strictly voluntary and that the program's strategy has, quote, evolved. Oh, you mean they scrapped it because they were getting too much backlash? Participants are not being asked to share with schools, State Farm said in the statement. The Daily Wire reached out to the company for clarification but did not receive a response. Did not receive a response. But then it says here, at State Farm, we are committed to diversity and inclusion. They aren't just words. They are truly part of how we do business and lead our organization. We recognize and value the diversity of all people. Really? I bet they, now when they say, here's a question I have for y'all. When they say that we value the diversity of all people, is that true? Do they value the diversity of all people? And then they say, and support the culture of respect and inclusion in the communities in which we live and work, as well as our workplace. When they say we recognize and value the diversity of all people, do you think that means ideological diversity? Do they value ideological diversity or not? How about y'all just be, okay, you motherfuckers just need to be neutral and shut the fuck up. If you're selling insurance, you're not raising my children or my grandchild, my lovely grandchild. Anyway, let's move on. More in education. Let's move on. That'll be in the thing. Oh, remember that letter, that the Justice Department sent, or no, the domestic terrorism letter. Remember that? School boards, domestic terrorism, that nonsense. Remember that? Well, there's a report now that confirms that, what did I do there? Let's put it back up there. There we go. That confirms the White House coordinated with National School Board Association on the domestic terrorism letter. Oh, shocker. We knew it. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, by the way, for sponsoring the show. Black Hebrew is, hang on a second. I forgot. It's K-pop day, and you are the second donor of the day. K-pop, let's do this one. Here we go. How about Hopeful and Dreamy? Because, that's... Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. Dropping a deuce in the tip jar. Like a good groomer, State Farm is there.
That's right.
And now canceling my insurance. Yeah. Well, State Farm has backed off of what they were going to do there. And so thank you for sponsoring the show. That didn't work out with the K-pop. But anyway, like a good groomer, State. That's going to be in my head all damn day. All right. So anyway, like I said, remember the White House, that letter that the National Teachers or National School Board Association wrote? Well, it has been official. The White House coordinated with the National School Board Association on that domestic terrorism letter, according to a report. Why is that not fitting on the screen right? Let's fix that. There we go. A probe of the National School Boards Association called for a federal investigation of parents as domestic terrorists, found the White House was involved in the drafting process that led to the controversial request. We kind of knew that, right? The association commissioned an internal investigation following outcry from parents, groups, and association board members who were upset by the inflammatory rhetoric in a September 29th letter to President Joe Biden. The group found that Chip Slavin, then CEO of the National School Board Association, told a White House senior policy advisor on September 21st that he planned to ask Biden to use the FBI and Justice Department to investigate threats against school board members under counterterrorism statutes and the Patriot Act. So they were going to throw them at you big time. White House advisor Mary C. Wall solicited Slavin for examples of threats made against school board members in advance of the September 22 meeting with the Justice Department and other White House offices. The association detailed these previously unreported exchanges in a report released Friday, which I will link in the description, in the news link in the description. Evidence indicates that White House officials discussed the existence of the letter, its request, and the contents of the letter with the Department of Justice officials more than a week before the letter was finalized and sent to President Biden. The report says the letter sparked controversy at the time after Attorney General Merrick Garland formed, thank God he's not in the Supreme Court, a federal task force to monitor threats against school boards and teachers. Parents groups and Republicans accused the Biden administration of colluding with the NSBA to use the letter to justify scrutiny of school board meetings. They questioned the involvement of federal investigators in local school board issues and alleged that the federal task force is intended to intimidate parents, who voiced concerns over school coronavirus policies and left-wing curricula. True. Wait, true. There we go. So anyway, basically, the report tells you what we already knew. Here's a copy of the report. Final report on the events surrounding the National School Board Association's September 29th letter to the president. That is about, it's long. It's a long report. It's about 30, 40, 60 pages, 57-page long report, including footnotes. So, as we know, the lying, cheating bastards tried to swindle you. All right. I am going to skip this one. There's a video from PragerU. Well, how long is this? Let's see how long it is. That's 5 minutes long. Well, you know what? We'll come back to it. Video of PragerU, 15 years, Kali Fontina. It'll be in the links, though. Kali Fontina was a teacher. Here, move it so you can see it. Taught middle school and high school students in California public schools. Then she abruptly left it behind. Why would a teacher who loves teaching quit her job? The answer would alarm us all. Watch and find out. Well, long story short, they were indoctrinating kids, period. She said schools in California and probably across the nation are major indoctrination camps. And maybe we'll watch at the end. Let me get to this other stuff first, though. Now, this one's just funny to me, and I laughed when I saw it. This is CNN. Tweeted, people around the world are likely to lose 50 to 58 hours of sleep a year by 2099 due to global warming. A new study revealed. Hello, GDSOB. How you doing? People around the world are likely to lose 50 to 58 hours of sleep a year by 2099 due to global warming, a new study revealed. Here's the article. People around the world are like, okay, I already said that, 50 to 58 hours a year by 2099. That's pretty specific. 50 to 58 hours a year by 2099. Researchers used wristbands with internal accelerometers to measure sleep duration and sleep timing over 47,000 adults across 68 countries for an average of 6 months for a study published on Journal One Earth. Adults should get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, according to National Sleep Foundation. The likelihood of getting less than 7 hours of sleep increases by 3.5% if minimum outside nighttime temperatures exceed 77 degrees Fahrenheit and 25 degrees Celsius, compared with the baseline temperature of 41 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, the study found. Okay. Whose idea was this? And how did they come up with by 2099? And is that a bad thing? So, do people in warmer climates naturally sleep less for some reason? And is it because people in warmer climates tend to have longer days year round, whereas in cooler climates in the northern and southern hemisphere, the farther you go north, there is more darkness. Does it have to do with temperature, or does it have to do with sunlight? This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And oh my God. Now I'm sure I'm not even going to read this crap. I'm sure the article adjusted for that, but still, it still doesn't make any sense. Also, there's an opinion page in the Washington Post. This is interesting. That is suggesting. Now, here's Breitbart's headline, and then I'll show you the Washington Post headlines. But the Washington Post has suggested that Black Americans who are tired of U.S. hostility consider relocating to Ghana. They featured back when W.E.D. Du Bois moved to Ghana in his later years, and so Attila, somebody named Karen Atia. Now she reported from Ghana, then quotes it from Du Bois titled "Ghana Calls." So this is the op-ed for African American tired of U.S. hostility. Ghana is still calling. Well, no. Ghana's not calling. At least it's not calling me. I might spend more time in Nigeria where some of my family lives, but I'm not going to move to Ghana. I'm happy here. Jeez. It's just uncanny. Anyway, I'm dumbfounded by that. Also in the tabs today, there is an article by Technofob just getting you caught up on the Sussman trial. Obviously you heard that Hillary Clinton, her personal campaign person, Robbie Mook, had testified that she actually gave the green light on disseminating some of the. Now, he didn't necessarily say that she knew it was fake, but she did say explicitly that Clinton directed them to spread this Alpha Bank Trump fake link to the media, and she did herself on her own Twitter feed. But anyway, day one, what a day of the Sussman trial. Former FBI official Bill Priestap, FBI leadership was fired up about the Alpha Bank Trump allegations and the other confidential human source who lied to the FBI about Alpha Bank Trump connections. So in this article, they mentioned at one point, I'm going to go here because this is one of the highlights that I saw. There's a blockbuster of a comment. Counsel for Sussman presented Priestap with messages from the FBI's internal messaging system in which Priestap discussed how the FBI's leadership, Comey, McCabe et al., were excited about pursuing the Alpha Bank Trump allegations. So this is something they wanted to do before Trump was elected because someone sent him this bullshit connection between Trump and Alpha Bank. So the question, okay, so this link is a chain between Joseph Pinka, who you mentioned a moment ago. Who is that Washington field agent, and Curtis Heide, the Chicago agent you mentioned. And this says, quote, people on the 7th floor, to include director, are fired up about this server. Like they wanted to get Trump. It's pretty wild. Anyway, you can read this. There's a whole, just if you're following that at all, I think it's important that people do. All right, let's finish up. Let's watch this video from the, what is this? Oh, I did open I have the Gender Cool website open. Oh, no. Have you ever met a transgender kid? It's one of the questions. Oh, oh my God. So this is, hang on. We're going to get into this tomorrow. Someone remind me or send me a message or say, remind Marty to go into the Gender Cool project. It has sponsors. Look at this. Hang on. You this is crazy. So MSNBC, Today Show, New York Times, Forbes, US, maybe this is as seen as next transgender generation isn't waiting to get to work. They have brainwashed these kids. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't. Oh, and down here, sponsors, our partners, Capital One, State Farm, Allstate, Sprout Social, CBRE, and Intel are all partners in this project. This is gonna, I'm gonna tell you, in 20 years, I'm gonna guess 20 years, this whole nonsense is going to backfire so badly. There's gonna be so many screwed up kids, and it's, and these teachers push this for so long. And so many of these, this is not good. Anyway, all right, let me get back to, I can't stand it. I'm just curious of what they're trying to push on kids. Leave the kid, hey teacher, leave them kids alone. Only just another brick in the wall. All right, let's check out this video by this teacher. And I know PragerU, whatever you think of PragerU, they are certainly a biased source. I'm not saying they're not, but I do want to see what this teacher said. So let's finish out the show with this.
Question: why would a teacher who loves teaching quit her job?
Good question.
Answer: when her job is no longer about teaching. For 15 years, I taught ESL, English as a Second Language, to middle and high school students. The last 5 years were at public schools in Salinas, California.
Okay.
Salinas has suffered for a long time with a gang problem. Students are just as likely to fall victim to the temptations of gang life as they are to graduate from high
Okay, so this isn't going where I thought it was, but let's see where it goes.
school. If that sounds like a challenge, it was exactly the challenge I was looking for. It's why I became an educator, to help put kids, especially teenagers, on a good path
at-risk
in
kids
life.
on a good path. Okay.
And that's what I tried to do. I taught my students that if they worked hard and accepted responsibility for their actions, they would succeed, that their race didn't define them, that they should respect the police,
where's this
that
gonna
there are
go?
only two sexes, that communism leads
I wonder
to
if she got
misery.
driven out for
But in the last few
because
years,
that two sexes part, that's some fighting words there in some circles, especially in California.
they were hearing something different in their other classes, that their race was their destiny.
That's the one that kills me. You're telling people that because of your race, you either are going to be successful or you're not. And that's a fucked up message for both any race. Sorry, your race is going to hold you back. That's a terrible message to a kid. Your race is, you have privilege because of your race. That's a terrible message to your kid, either from a guilt standpoint or what if the kid, doesn't succeed. And now you traumatize. Well, I'm supposed to be better because of my race. It must be because they're doing these other races. They're helping these other races because they're not going to help me. As opposed to help yourself. You're not automatically successful no matter what, and you're not automatically doomed no matter what.
That the police were out to get them, that their sexual identity is a personal choice.
Well, it's funny that she says it that way, because some say it's their personal choice. Some say they say, oh, it's just nature. It's biology, but it's not biology, because it's subjective bullshit. Anyway.
That socialism is compassionate, communism
Yeesh.
isn't so bad, and capitalism is cruel. Many of my students, especially the ones who had recently come to America, rejected these depressing lessons. They knew what they had fled. They wanted to embrace their new country and its values.
Okay.
But other students completely bought into it. I needed to know why. So I dove into the school's ethnic studies curriculum, the source of so many toxic ideas.
It's
I
not
found
just
classroom
ethnic and
activities
gender
such as a
studies.
privilege quiz, where students would
Hey, remember that from yesterday? The privilege quiz? We went through that.
compare and contrast their gender, race, class, and sexual orientation with those of their classmates. I found another exercise, which involved conducting a mock trial to charge various persons implicated in genocide against Native Californians in order to create a social justice counter-narrative.
All right.
None of this should be surprising.
I'm going to stop there, because you could look at the curriculum of some schools, and especially some teachers. You watch the TikTok videos from Libs of TikTok. You know some of the things that people are doing, and in some places it's part of the curriculum. It's part of again, we talked about Washington, where they changed laws to make children who can't make a decision about of getting a tattoo, buying alcohol, or voting, but they can determine that all they have to do is say, I am this, and they will give them hormone blockers or puberty blockers or hormones or shit without their parents' input, not even without their parents' permission, without any input whatsoever from parents. Children as young as 13 can make these decisions in some places, and it's just not. Oh boy, it's scary. It's scary, but. Gang, I wish I had more time, but I don't. So we'll get back to, I want to check out that gender project and see what that's all about. Gender Cool, it's called. And we'll get into that tomorrow a little bit. I want to see what's on it, and then I'll tell you what's on it, and then we'll include that in the show. But anyway, I must go because that's what I do this time of day. I hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll be back here tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, like always, because that's what we do Monday through Friday. If you are watching at a replay, put a comment in the comment section. Thank you for everyone who participated in the chat. Thank you for our sponsors today, Thomas Cleaver, Kapow, and Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Thomas Cleaver, you are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, do it now before you go. While you're thinking about it, I will have the link to all these articles and other links in the description down below. During the outro, I will update that, and we should be good. So, ladies and gentlemen, time for me to go. Thank you. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye. Bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.